Welcome back to Thick and Thicker Podcast. I'm Nolan.
I'm James.
And today we have multiple topics we're going to be talking about. But first, let's say we're finally back. This is episode 5.
We're returning.
We took a long break because James was lazy and he didn't want to edit anymore. And I didn't have a computer, so we're recording on my phone with no microphone.
Nolan went on a diet plan.
Okay. But today, we're sorry that we have not. I think it's been over a year.
Probably
I think our last one was that live stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a while. But we're going to talk about multiple topics today, including the MLB Trade Deadline, and then we'll be getting into just an NFL free agency recap, kind of. And then we'll go to quarterback battles in the preseason, and then we'll talk about a bit of fantasy football, and then we'll do our regular season predictions earlier in the preseason, and then we'll have another one right before the season starts.
Yeah,
we're gonna try and come back and post once a week about.
Yeah, we'll try to do that. We'll try to get a few episodes in, then we might start having some guests on.
Yeah, we just want to get back, but thank you guys for tuning in. It's been over a year, so yeah.
So if you guys are watching this, we're very grateful.
Thank you. So to begin, we're gonna talk about the MLB Trade Deadline and post-trade deadline and the final 2 months of the season. So a couple of big moves happened. Carlos Correa got traded to the Astros. He used to be an Astro a couple years back, but he just got traded this deadline back to Houston, where they cheated back in 2017 and they won the World Series. So maybe they're banging trash cans again, but they just lost the division lead to another team that won the deadline, actually, the Mariners, and they're tied for first place right now. Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, both D-backs, went to the Mariners. Another team that won the deadline was the Padres. Mason Miller, a big reliever, one of the best relievers, went to them. But in that trade was the number one prospect in all of baseball, Leo, I forget his name, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. But it was a really big move, probably the headliner of the deadline, that or Carlos Correa or Eugenio.
Correa sounds like a female name.
It's his last name. I think he's.
I know it still sounds like a female name.
But yeah, there was a bunch of other trades, a lot of prospect trades. My Marlins traded Jesus Sanchez away and Nick Fortes away. A lot of bullpen guys were traded for big time prospects, which prospects I think were definitely underpriced for relievers. But I guess teams really wanted relievers. But it was overall a crazy deadline. There's 2 months left in the season. The Red Sox are in second place. The Marlins are in third place. And I think the Marlins are they're 6.5 games out of a wild card spot. And we're recording this on Wednesday,
It's the 13th?
I think it's the 13th. Hold on.
How are the Blue Jays getting first?
Yeah, 13th. But the Blue Jays are in first, and the Red Sox are just behind, and the Yankees are in third. They're starting to collapse. The Mets are also starting to collapse, so it's not going well for New York.
Yeah.
But it's been an interesting past couple months. Surprisingly, the two teams that weren't supposed to be good this year, the Brewers and Marlins, they have definitely turned their season around, being the two hottest teams since June. But there's still a lot of baseball left, so who knows what can happen.
What's the hottest team in the league right now?
The Brewers.
I thought it was the Red Sox.
No. Well, I mean, they are in the past 10 games.
Past 10 games, okay.
But I'm talking about the past month. The Marlins and Brewers have been the hottest teams. But a lot of trade deadlines definitely shaked up a lot. But we'll see how that continues to go. But next, we're going to go into free agency. We're going to be talking about a lot here because this is probably going to be the most of our video here.
Yeah.
The thickest part of our video.
Yeah, the thickest part of our video.
Not a lot of huge moves for the Bills. They extended a couple players. They signed Joey Bosa, but he's injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Really nothing huge for them. The Dolphins, they didn't do much huge either.
Zach Wilson, what a beautiful signing that was. Oh my goodness, season of record.
The biggest move probably was trading back for Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. That was a big trade. I think that was one of the only trades in June or July. I forget when it happened.
I can't wait to see Jalen Ramsey and DK Metcalf on the same team in Pittsburgh.
That would be fun.
That's awesome.
But Minka's back. I don't know if he left because of Brian Flores or he left the coach of the general manager and owner, but the general manager and owner are still there. So I'm curious to see how that goes. I mean, the Dolphins secondary sucks. They lost Ramsey. They lost Cater Kohu. They lost majority of their good players. Javon Holland. Everyone's gone, and they just don't. Anyone can pass. I think. Who's the worst quarterback in the league right now?
Zach Wilson.
Okay. But so any quarterback could
I'm
really
a
pass
Jets fan.
against
I hate Zach
that
Wilson.
defense sucks.
I hate Zach Wilson.
That will be the destroying part of the Dolphins this year. Their defense and their whole line. Moving on, the Patriots. I guess they didn't really make big moves. Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's kind of washed now. He's not really the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the Patriots could be a good team this year. They made a lot of good defensive signings, or at least not good, but like decent signings.
Morgan Moses signed a 3-year. That's a big one.
Yeah. They definitely built on their line. They also drafted Will Campbell, which is a big move. He's a good guy. He will be good for that whole line. Jets, they got Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, bro.
Now, I was talking this about earlier today with James. I don't know what went inside Justin Fields' mind to go from the Bears, who are a bad organization, and then the Steelers, who are, I mean, not that bad of an organization.
No, I mean, to be honest,
and then you go to
the winning season.
Then you go to the Jets. I mean, I know it was obviously money. It had to do with money because Justin Fields probably could ruin his career
Property
here.
values.
Not saying that he has a good career already, but he could ruin it there.
Not to mention, you go to a worse team, which is the Jets. I'll admit that, and you have New York has horrible property values. You can't buy anything. Everything has more taxes, so it had to have been the money. It's the only thing.
Yeah. And then Garrett Wilson and Sauce got extended for a couple years, a lot of money.
This isn't about free agency signings, but I do want to talk about, I don't know if you heard that Aaron Glenn, the new coach, was sending shots at Robert Saleh, saying that the coaching on the D-line was very minimal because Will McDonald, who's our rookie from a couple of years ago, he hasn't been doing anything, and it's all of a sudden he started tearing up practice.
Yeah.
And when they asked Aaron Glenn about it, he said that the only thing that changed was the coaching, and that's what led to it.
Yeah.
So I can't agree more, to be honest.
For the Ravens, I don't think there was anything huge. I mean, they got D-Hop, but he's old and washed, and they really didn't do much. Jair Alexander got signed, but he's kind of washed too. So really nothing big for them. The Bengals, I don't think they did anything big either. Yeah, nothing big. Just they extended Jamar Chase.
I mean, Jamar Chase is a good extension.
And T. Higgins they extended too, but yeah. Browns, we'll get more.
Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Here we go.
Okay, but let's not talk about it too much because we're gonna get into QB battles next. But yeah, they signed a couple players. They extended Myles Garrett, which I don't know why he'd extend there because I don't want to play in Cleveland right now.
$100 million. That's why.
Yeah. Then you got the Steelers. Decided to go for the oldest players in the league.
Bro.
I mean, if this team were in 2018, 2017, 2019, that whole time, they'd be one of the greatest teams in the league.
Of course.
But you have a 40 years old Aaron Rodgers. DK Metcalf is in his 30s. I mean, he's not bad. He definitely he's definitely good at pulling the corners toward him and having the other receiver open. And he's obviously a big guy.
I will say I do think Rodgers will do better with the Steelers. It's a much better coaching, and he won't have complete control of the team like he did in New York.
Statistically, he was he was good last year, so we could see how he does this year.
I think he'll be more successful.
Yeah, and then they definitely improved defensively a lot. They signed Darius Slay, which was huge. Deshaun Elliott, who's actually not that bad.
Extended TJ Watt.
And then, extended TJ Watt, and then Jalen Ramsey, obviously. But this team would have won a Super Bowl in 2019.
Yeah.
And then the AFC South, Nick Chubb signed with them, but not anymore.
I mean,
he was terrible last year.
It could be.
That injury really ruined him.
It depends on how they use him.
They got a couple receivers, Braxton Berrios, Christian Kirk. I'm trying to remember. They signed someone big. I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, Daniel Hunter. He was big.
Yeah.
He was good for the Vikings.
Only a 1-year deal though.
Derek Stingley got extended. That's good. Oh yeah, they got C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the trade.
Daniel Jones.
The Colts. We'll talk more about that, obviously, because QB battles.
Daniel Jones.
They didn't really do much actually this year. I think Shavarius Ward was their only really big signing there. Jacksonville, they had. I mean, it was cool that they traded up for Travis Hunter. We can see how he does there with Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
It's still, I don't think we really know yet if he's playing receiver or corner or both. But I guess
I thought he said he wanted to play receiver, but
I don't know. But we'll see where that goes. I mean, I guess it all depends on the coaching and where they want him the most.
mm-hmm.
Titans, I mean, other than Cam Ward, they really had a dry off season. I mean, they got Lockett, but he's, 34, 35? He's old.
Insane, bro.
Kevin Zeitler, I don't know if he was there but before. I don't think he was, but he's a decent lineman. He's not bad. They didn't really do much, though. Then the Broncos, they got Evan Ingram, which is kind of good. Good tight end, finally. Drake Greenlaw's not bad.
Talanoa Hufanga. I think he's an underrated safety myself.
Yeah. I think that's 2 Niners that went to the Broncos defense.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
I hope the 49ers defense is horrible this year. I do. Yeah. I want it to be.
Chiefs actually did not do much this offseason. I mean, they did a lot of re-signs and all that.
Nobody big though.
Nobody big enough.
Nothing worth talking about, to be honest. I mean,
but they're probably going to go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, we know how they work.
And then the Raiders, they traded for Geno Smith, who's actually one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the league, and Pete Carroll is the coach there, so it'll be interesting to see how that connection works again.
$100 million extension for Max Crosby, 3 years is pretty huge.
Yeah.
One of the best in the league at edge.
Yeah. Other than that, they really didn't do much either. We'll see how Ashton Janty does there. Hopefully he doesn't get arrested. Chargers, they signed Najee Harris, but he's been having that eye problem, so who knows what his situation is. They got Marion Hampton, who could be really good.
Try to pull a JPP, bro.
Other than that, they didn't really do much huge. I mean, they
Kai Becton, who will get injured in 2 weeks.
They got some big moves. They got some pretty decent sized moves they got, but nothing too huge. Moving on to the NFC, Cowboys. They got George Pickens. That's a huge move. I'm excited to see Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. That trio could be one of the best in the league. Sure. Dak Prescott is an underrated quarterback in the league, and obviously when you got CeeDee Lamb, who's top 3 receiver in the league, and then George Pickens, who's really good and athletic.
Now, one of the things that I'm interested to see is that when you see a guy who's number 1 on one team go to a team that has a CeeDee Lamb, they're not as good. They don't get targeted as much. And Dak tends to rely on CeeDee. So even though you could think CeeDee could be a distraction for George Pickens, I think Dak is going to rely on CeeDee a little too much.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think either way, they can't really guard. They can't have 2 corners on one guy.
No, for sure. That's why I think Dak's going to...
So that's going to be... Dak could have a good year as long as he doesn't get injured.
As long as he makes good decisions.
The only concerns I have about that is their defense is a little scary right now. I'm sure you guys have heard about Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
He requested a trade, and then that running back room too. It's terrible. I mean, I think Javonte Williams is their running back that they just signed. He's not that good. But we'll see how that goes.
I would pay every single dime that I make in my entire life to see Micah Parsons go to the Jets. I swear to God, I would pay everything.
And then for the Giants, you have Russell Wilson. Russ was not terrible for the Steelers last year when he played.
And then he did well towards the end, didn't he?
Yeah, so, I mean, we could see how that goes. Trying to remember the running back for the Giants.
He does well. He gets the team's hope. He's like, okay, we'll sign him, and then he does horrible.
I'm trying to remember that running back for the Giants. I won't be able to remember it off the top of my head, but I know who it is. But he's actually pretty good. He could have a breakout season this year. He was good last year. Defensively, they signed Javon Holland. That's got to be big. Yeah. I mean, he had a down year last year, but he's still young, so he has potential still to be good.
How old is he?
He's still in his 20s, 25, 26.
Okay,
he's young. He was drafted 2021.
Okay.
The Eagles, the Super Bowl champions.
Extending Saquon.
Extended Saquon. Really didn't really do much. They re-signed a bunch of guys. They got Kendall Lamb, who used to be decent. I don't know if he's good anymore. Then the Commanders, Deebo Samuel.
That's a pretty huge.
Although I have seen a lot of jokes about him being fat.
I don't know,
he's got kind of a weird build.
If they use him into a running back, maybe he can run some people over. You never know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to.
Brian Robinson's a good running back though, and they have Eckler, who's a good receiving back.
I want to see Deebo Samuel truck somebody with his 300-pound build. I swear.
Von Miller was decent. He's kind of old though. I mean, we'll see where that goes. Javon Kinlaw was huge.
What's Von Miller's contract say? How many years is he here for?
1 year.
1 year. Okay, good.
But he's old, so
He could retire
we'll
after
see.
this year, to be honest.
Javon Kinlaw was big. Bobby Wagner was actually surprisingly good last year, even though he's old. He's what, 36?
he's
And he had a
consistent.
breakout year last year.
I'm surprised too. He's consistent.
I don't know, because I don't remember his whole career with the Seahawks and every other team he's played for, but
He was part of the
I'm
Legion of
pretty
Doom.
sure he might be a Hall of Famer. I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong in that, but I haven't really followed his career too much.
If not, he will be.
Yeah. The Bears. Now, they made a ton of offensive lineman moves. That was a huge problem last year.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll see how that works with Caleb. Obviously, there was a lot of news with Caleb saying he didn't want to be there when he got drafted. He said he wanted. I don't know if it was Carolina, but I think he said he wanted to go somewhere else other than Chicago. And then that went on the
Nobody else
internet.
wants him.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. He's only in his second year. He's still young.
Yeah. If he can't do well with a decent offensive line, then it just proves.
But he also has good receivers. I think he has DJ Moore. He has that that guy they drafted last year, 9th overall.
Rome Odunze?
Yeah, Rome Odunze. They have I think it's Colston Loveland. They have DeAndre Swift. That line's good. I heard that defense could be really good this year. But we'll see how that goes.
Who is this?
DJ Reed was a nice signing, I think. I don't know if he's good anymore. Kirby Joseph was good. Then you got the Packers.
They didn't do much.
Packers really didn't do much. I think their biggest signing was Nate Hobbs.
Yeah.
He's not bad, I guess. Then the Vikings, they've re-signed Aaron Jones. And I want to get into Aaron Jones soon when we talk about fantasy football, because there's something about him.
Injured, so that doesn't even matter.
Jonathan Allen was a big move. Javon Hargrave was a big move. AVG had a really good year last year. I think he was a Pro Bowler.
Harrison Smith with the new contract. Who's really just a name.
Smith,
he's not even that good.
He's
anymore.
older now. And then you got the Falcons. I think the Falcons could have a decent, surprising year this year, maybe win their division. I mean, that division's kind of weak, but we'll see how the Bucks and Falcons, and there's rumors that the Panthers could be good. The Saints, obviously, we'll talk about their situation
are going to
soon.
be absolutely horrible. And me giving them 2-15 is generous.
Okay, but we'll get that into later. But the Falcons, Penix and Bijan and London, that's a great trio right there. I mean, we'll see how Penix does this year. Make sure you draft Kyle Pitts first overall.
Bro.
Fall for that trap. The Panthers, they didn't really do much, did they? No. I mean, I guess they got a lot of re-signs and signed a couple guys. Nothing too big for them. Then the Saints, we'll get into them. Like I said, they didn't really do much either. A lot of old guys and just re-signs.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks, Chris Godwin re-signs.
I mean, Hassan
Anthony Walker. I think Anthony Walker had a good year last year. Hassan Reddick. I think he's been old and he's just a crybaby now.
Well, he's old, and the fact that he got hurt last year is not going to help with his age.
Yeah, and then Levante David. He's good and he's just older.
Mm-hmm. He's just a name now.
Then the Cardinals.
Jacoby Brissett.
Trey McBride resigned. I'm sure. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the preseason game. Kyler Murray threw arguably one of the worst picks of all time.
Oh my god. You forgot what color jerseys they were wearing.
I don't know what was going in his head. He threw it straight to a defender. I'll try. Maybe I can try and play the clip right now.
Second-year player out of Florida State. Third-round pick a year ago. And Murray off the boot, rolling left, and throws a pick right to the defender.
Well, if you haven't seen it, just search up Kyler Murray interception. It'll come up, and it'll be insane.
They signed Calais Campbell. I know he's old, but he had a really good season last year for being old. So we'll see how that goes. They could be good this year. We'll see how that really all goes. The Rams, there's rumors Stafford might be injured, for a while. It's more of like the Christian McCaffrey issue last year. He's injured, but we don't know too much about it.
Devontae
Adams was big, but he's older, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think he can do well with Stafford. They need somebody.
But there's also Stafford's problem. And then they had Puka Nacua, so Kyren. So we'll see how that goes. Brock Purdy signed a big deal. They obviously traded away Debo. They lost a lot on defense, so they're a worrying team. But they have one of the easiest schedules in the league, so we'll see how that all goes.
I really hope their defense is horrible.
Then the Seahawks, who had actually one of the best off seasons in my opinion. I don't think they'll be great, but Sam Darnold, I think it's a bit an overpay. He had one good first half of the season, then he kind of collapsed.
$100 million for 3 years. It's
And
definitely an overpay.
Cooper Kupp, another overpay. He's had in his career, I think he's had one good year, and that was 2021.
Yeah.
Kind of like Michael Thomas, had been injured and never really the same. They signed DeMarcus Lawrence. They had a really good draft too. One of the best drafts, I think. They got Milroe. I'm probably not going to be able to remember everyone, but they had a really good draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of free agent moves, but we'll move on and talk about quarterback situation. So to begin, we have the Colts, Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Anthony Richardson hurt a finger. I don't know. He probably won't be out for long because it's just a finger. But I don't know. It's going to be tough to see who wins. Anthony Richardson's never really been good because of injuries, and I think as people are saying he might be arguably one of the worst quarterbacks ever. I don't know if that's true. I mean, but he's never really been good. Daniel Jones, he had that one mid-year with the Giants, but we'll see how that goes. I mean, as much as the Colts improved defensively, and they had Pittman, I'm forgetting that wide receiver's 2 name. They have Taylor, and then they have that Tyler Warren. And their O-line's not even that bad. We'll see how that goes. I feel like it all depends on their quarterback play and what they do there.
As soon as Richardson gets hurt, which will happen, Danny Dimes will take place.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones did good with the Giants that one year. I mean, we'll see how that goes. They could be a good team. Who knows? The next situation is the Browns. They have a ton of quarterbacks. I think it's Shadir and Dylan Gabriel are not going to be the starters at this point. I think one of them will be cut or put onto the practice squad, which they'll end up getting picked up anyways. And then you have Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Flacco had that good year with the Browns 2 years ago.
I mean,
Kenny Pickett, who knows where he'll go. He could be good. I think Flacco will be the starter in that battle. He's just older and more experienced. I think it'll change throughout the season. I think they'll definitely test some players, see where that goes. Anything you want to say about that?
I mean, to be honest, Joe Flacco is really just, at this point in his career, sometimes he shows up and sometimes he doesn't whenever he actually plays. I think if you might as well try to play Kenny Pickett. I don't like the decision to put Joe Flacco as starter because at least Kenny Pickett has potential to improve on what he did last year. Joe Flacco is just old and set in his ways.
He was a backup for Jalen Hurts last year.
What year did he play for when he was on the Steelers? He played like half the season.
I think it was 22 and 23.
23.
He played both years, kind of half of it. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Probably one of the worst quarterback battles for one of the worst teams.
Oh my God,
Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shook.
I don't even know who Tyler Shook.
He was drafted in the second round by the Saints.
I don't know or care who he is.
He's not a bad quarterback. He has an injury history, I think.
Play Taysom Hill.
He's not that great.
Might as well play Taysom Hill.
But we'll see how that goes. Kamara is always a good running back if he's playing.
Every single play should be a screen pass to Kamara.
I don't know what happened to Olave. He left last year after having 5 concussions. Is Michael Thomas still there? Cool. He hasn't been playing or is good anymore.
Bring back Michael Thomas. Bring back Taysom Hill. Bring back the Dream Team and get rid of these 2 bums.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
That team's kind of cooked.
This is just a flag football exhibition season for the Saints. It doesn't matter. I'm going 2-15. That's generous.
Well, we'll talk about that again. Remember?
Yeah, but still.
Next, we're going to talk about fantasy football. I'm going to let you start first this time. Do you have any players you kind of really interested in?
Jamar just got re-signed. CMC's injury prone. I can't trust that. Jahmyr Gibbs could be good, but with him splitting with David Montgomery, I'm really not going to take him as an early pick. I might. Obviously, Kyle Pitts is a guarantee in the first rounds. I never pass him up. Really, I think Devon Achane is really just is a hit.
It depends on Tua's playing or not.
It depends on how much they use him. Because if
No,
Zach
it's Tua's performance. Last year I saw a stat where he was averaging like 15 points in fantasy per game with Tua, and like without Tua he's averaging like 9.
Sure.
So it's a huge difference.
As soon as Zach Wilson takes over for Tua's concussion, he'll just throw every single screen pass to Devon Achane and miss every single screen pass to Devon Achane. But that's pretty much it.
For me, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing yet with fantasy. I really like receiver early this year, but the problem with that, it depends on quarterback play. But I like CD a lot this year because George Pickens being there could give more separation for CD.
Could also split his catches.
Jefferson, I'm a little worried about because of JJ McCarthy being quarterback, and who
sure.
knows what his ceiling or floor is or whatever. But obviously Jefferson's a good receiver, so we don't really need to know that.
Garrett Wilson with a star throwing him the football every single time.
Jamar Chase, I think, is probably my favorite pick this year. I really like Bijan Robinson. He finished the year great last year. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little worried about Saquon coming off a year where he rushed for I don't know, did he hit 2,000?
I don't know. That had to have been his best year.
But I'm a little worried. He has had an injury history, and coming out a year where he had, I think, 200 plus touches, it's a little worrying. Durability. And he's the Madden cover, so who knows, the Madden curse could come into effect.
He had the ACL tear. What else did he have?
I think he had another ACL tear. He had
2? Oh,
yeah.
Geez, of course he did.
Derrick Henry, that guy's an automatic. Like, if you can get him, just draft him.
Oh, 100%.
That guy is a beast. I think he'll be playing until he's 45 and still rushing 1,000
I had him
yards.
either last year or 2 years ago. He was amazing.
He's always good. Yeah,
2 yard
I don't think
touchdown
that guy's not human.
No.
Achane, like I said, he depends on Tua playing and if they use him often enough. He has a good passing upside or receiving upside, and he wants to rush for 1,000 yards, but we'll see how that goes with Jalen Wright being right behind there, and then you got Ollie Gordon. Alexander Madison's out for the year with a neck injury. Amon-Ra, another reliable guy. He's always good. Bucky Irving. A lot of people are high on Bucky Irving this year. He's supposed to be good. Malik Neighbors had a good year. We'll see how that works with Russ. I think that'll work well in my opinion.
I'm not risking any running back with the Buccaneers. Not a single one.
Drake London really depends on how Michael Penix plays. More players we're going to be talking about are tight end. I heard that tight end could be really important this year. If you draft a good tight end early.
Why is Trey McBride so high?
He was good last year. He was tight end too.
He really was?
Yes.
Oh, I guess it was everybody was bad but Brock Bowers.
No, Trey McBride averaged 15 a game almost.
Did he actually?
Yes, he was good. Oh. I had McBride. I traded Trey McBride and Jonathan Taylor for
they're literally number 19 and 20 on here.
For AJ Brown.
Who's down here at 23.
Yeah. So I kind of stole that trade. But I wanted to talk about a couple more guys that moved down recently. The only other guy I wanted to talk about was I'm forgetting his name.
Well, it's right here, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to look. It's just blank from my mind. Aaron Jones. I want to talk about Aaron Jones because he's lower on a lot of fantasy lists I've been looking at. Dude just came off a 1,000+ yard season and I think almost 10 touchdowns. I'm not 100% sure how many he had. But he's definitely an underrated pick. If you can get him in the 3rd round, maybe even 2nd, I don't know. I might be reaching a bit for that take, but yeah. Couple other guys. I'm not a big fan on some of these rookie running backs. My number 1 rookie running back, in my opinion, is going to be Omarion Hampton. I know JT's there. He's supposed to be a 1st-round pick, but I don't know with the Raiders and
with his criminal history.
And what is it called? I'm trying to think.
Breece Hall's too high on here. He's not that good anymore. He used to be good.
He has upside to be good. Who knows? But there's really, I'd target receivers personally early, and I'd like a good tight end, hopefully like McBride or Bowers, and then I'd like a good quarterback like Allen and Daniels, because in our league especially, having a good quarterback obviously means a lot. I think teams that made the playoffs last year had Allen, Daniels, Lamar, Mahomes, like some of the best quarterbacks. And teams that also were successful had good tight ends like Bowers and McBride. I had McBride. Once I traded for him, I think I didn't lose a game for the rest of the season, actually. I think I won my last 7 games, including the loser playoff bracket. Yeah. I started the season 1-9. I was very bad. But
I remember that.
But I turned it around with that trade, and yeah, but there's a lot. I mean, there's Travion Henderson could be good as a rookie. Don't draft RJ Harvey. He's the RB5 on the Broncos depth chart right now, and he's ranked 57 on this list.
I'll be honest, I've never heard of the guy.
He's just drafted, but they said he was going to be RB1 or 2 on the team, and he's RB5 right now.
Never heard of him. Somehow he's ranked ahead Burrow.
Yeah. I think they're overrating Evan Ingram just a bit. I think Kelsey's still a bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
David Montgomery's always a great pick. You know, that guy's going to score touchdowns all the time.
He's going to be the goal line guy for them.
I think another underrated pick, Tony Pollard, had a good year last year. He's a little low.
He has a lot of receptions, too, which is good for a running back.
Yeah, I this year I've been drafting Tony Pollard a lot in a lot of mock drafts. I'm not sure about Emeka Egbuka, only because of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You already got 2 good receivers. I don't know what a third could do. Jalen Warren could be good because he's RB1. And who knows what the Steelers will do, running or passing.
Or just getting into the people nobody cares about, really.
I think Mahomes should be drafted a bit higher. I think he's ranked QB6 on here.
Scatterby was there. Why?
Yeah, he's not even RB1. I think he's still like RB3.
What website is this?
Fantasy Football Today. But there's a couple trades. I like Tyrone Tracy a lot. That was the guy I was thinking about earlier for the Giants. He's really good.
Cam Scatterby ahead of Kyle Pitts is outrageous.
Okay.
And to be honest, it actually is. It actually, not all jokes aside, it is.
Kyle Pitts is too high. Once again, he's not good. Brian Robinson could be a good pick. He's RB1. I think Eckler's the 2, but he's more of a receiver back and won't be playing as much. I know I drafted him last year early, and I don't know if I'll draft him this year yet, but Etienne's a good guy. I think he definitely had a bad year last year for sure, but he's RB1 on the team, so he could have really good upside. A lot of good quarterbacks on here for the first couple rounds, but then after that, it really falls off. So in my opinion, I think quarterback early is the best option, unless you can build a good enough team around where you can have a quarterback that's not as good. Because I think,
you got Mahomes back here, but he's not that great sometimes. In terms
like
of
fantasy. Like Kyler Murray couldn't be a bad pick. Bo Nix wasn't bad last year. Dak isn't a bad option, especially with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
I mean, Dak's a steal that late.
Yeah. Sure. I've seen C.J. Stroud be drafted so low even after the down year, and even though it's one down year, I think he'll come back fine. I think it was just a sophomore slump. Jared Goff made the playoffs in our league last year. See, like, there's some of these guys that are, like, lower ranked, but still good picks. But we still got a couple weeks to our fantasy draft. It's not this weekend, not the weekend after. Oh, wait, is it the weekend after?
The weekend after this weekend.
Yes, the weekend after this weekend.
It's 23rd, 24th.
We won't know our position of picks, but I think I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to create my own top 100 list and what order I would draft them. Not taking positions into account, because I might draft a guy, or I might want a guy, and the guy will get drafted further down. Like a whole mess.
That's too much.
So I'm just
going to go in there.
So I'm just going to create my own list and go based off that, because I'm going to need to stop trusting these online lists, because sometimes they're never accurate. But there's injury concerns here and there for a couple guys. Joe Mixon's injured. I don't know how long that'll be for. A.J. Brown's a good pick for that late. He was really good last year. Taylor's a good pick. Yeah. We'll see more as the season comes along. There could be more preseason injuries. Like, there's 2 weeks more preseason, and then they have the cutting week where they cut the players to get the final 53 roster.
I have the same strategy I had last year. I'm not going to do any mock drafts. I'm not going to do any studying. It's too much work. I'm just going there and wing it and hopefully don't get last place.
One of our members in our league, Gabe Harkey,
He might be watching this.
Yeah, he might be watching this. Who knows? But he said he was going to basically do the same thing. He's done that all the years he's been drafting.
We're gonna be in the loser playoff game, right? Loser championship.
Gabe's actually been one of the best players in the league, though. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
But moving on, we're gonna go to NFL predictions. Give me a second here. All right, we're gonna do NFL predictions, and I would like. Give me this is a failure. I'll cut this part out.
I certainly hope so.
Okay, this is your predictions on the left.
This is my
so it works
predictions on
fine.
the left. Okay.
All right. So
the Texans at 4. Oh, it's because of the division.
All right. So our predictions. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. I have the Ravens and the Bills at the top, both going 13-4. In terms of the division winners, obviously AFC South Texans are going to be last, and then I have Chiefs coming in at 12-5 and third. The Bengals, I think, will have a good season. They're 13-4. Broncos 10-7. All these other teams will probably be mid. You got the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Steelers. The Jets are going to be 7-10. All those other teams coming in at like 9-8.
I think the Chargers are really low.
I don't think they'll be too good. I think they're doing too much in the offseason.
I think they'll be good.
Yeah, Chargers do. I have 6-11. Maybe it'll pan out. Maybe it won't. I don't know. And then it's just teams nobody cares about. It's just Raiders with Geno Smith, who nobody really cares like at all. Aaron Richardson or whatever his name is, Anthony Richardson, whatever. He'll be leading the team until he gets injured like 5 weeks in, and then it'll just be Daniel Jones who just drives the team into like a horrible abyss of just terrible football. Yeah. And then the AFC South is going to take up 3 of the bottom 4 spots in the AFC with the Colts, Titans, and Jaguars.
I don't think the Jaguars will be that bad. And then the Browns, By the way, these predictions aren't our official predictions. This is like kind of like...
I came up with this in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is kind of like we put this together just so we can give you guys kind of what we see for the season. We won't do our actual predictions till like right before the actual season starts.
Yeah, we'll have a whole episode
like
for that.
Right before week 1.
Probably what most of the episode will be because of how big it is.
But we'll probably do like award picks, playoff predictions, etc. But right now it's too early for that. We still got another 2 weeks of preseason. Then we have the cutting week, which is probably the week we'll do it.
Once the season begins a little bit into it, then we'll start doing our playoff predictions. It's just too early right now.
Yeah. So for me on the AFC side, I got the Chiefs at the 1 seed at 12-5. And then I have the Ravens at the 2 seed going 12-5, and the Bills at the 3 seed going 12-5. I think it'll be really close to them. It'll come down to matchups because they all play each other. I don't know if the Ravens play the Chiefs, but I know the Bills play the Ravens. I know the Bills play the Chiefs. And I took the Ravens to beat the Bills, and then I think I took the Chiefs to beat the Bills. So, yeah. And then the Texans at the 4 seed, so like James. 5 seed, I also have the Bengals at 11-6. I had the Broncos and Steelers to round out the playoffs. The Steelers will find a way to make it in like they always do. Yeah. They're going to finish 9-8 or 10-7. Then I have the Chargers, Jaguars, and Patriots all going 9-8 too, just missing out on the playoffs. I really think the Jaguars will be an under-8 team. The Patriots, they build a lot on their defense. Then I have the Dolphins at 8-9. I think they're going to struggle with their pass defense and O-line. I have the Colts and Raiders going 6-11. I'm not big on the Colts, and I'm not sure about the Raiders yet. They could have a future, who knows. Then I have the Titans at 5-12 and Jets at 5-12. Cam Ward, we'll see how he grows. A lot of the hype is around Shadir still, even though Cam Ward was first overall, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And then the Jets, I'm just not sure yet. They're just a confusing team right now, and they always have been. We'll see how that goes.
I think they'll do the same thing they do.
Same thing. We have prediction. Browns in last in the AFC. Who knows what they're doing with quarterback? Honestly, they don't really have much of a running back. Jerry Judy's their only good receiver. They have Njoku, who's good. Their line's all right. Their defense is good, but yeah.
I'd rather the Jets go 5-12 because they get a better draft pick, and that's honestly where I stand. I think they're going to end up right in the middle.
All right, I'll go first for the NFC. Right. For the 1 seed in the NFC, I have the Eagles going 14-3, the Super Bowl champs. I think they'll bounce back this year in the regular season. Obviously, we're not doing playoff picks yet, so I don't know what that would be. Then I have the Lions at the 2 seed going 13-4. A lot of people are saying the Packers are going to win the division, and I see it. I see the vision. I just think the Lions built on their defense more. They also did lose coaching, which matters, but I read something today saying that I know the Dolphins aren't as good, but I heard the Lions just completely dominated the Dolphins on both sides of the ball during practice today. Then at the 3 seed, I have the Rams. I think they're going to be winning their division. I think they're just the best team in that division. I know the Niners have an easier schedule, but we'll see how the Rams go. I'm still a little bit worried about Matthew Stafford right now because he's older, but we'll see. The 4 seed, I have the Bucks going 9-8. I have them barely making the playoffs. I have the Falcons going 9-8 too. But I think a tiebreaker goes to the Bucks there. Then at the 5 seed, I have the Cowboys. I think they're going to bounce back this year. I really like Dak, CD, and George Pickens. A little worried about that run game. I'm a little bit worried about Micah Parsons, like I said earlier. But that defense could still bring them in that offense. I've seen Dak have success before. He'll have it again this year as long as he's healthy. Then I have the Packers at 6 seed. They're only losing the division by 2 games. I think that I like the team a lot. I'm a little bit worried about Love's interception problem. He definitely fixed that in the second half of the year last year, but we'll see how that goes. Then I have the Commanders barely making it in over the Niners at 10-7. They're both 10-7. I think there's a tiebreaker. I don't think the Commanders are going to be as good as last year. I think Jaden Daniels will have a little bit of a sophomore slump, but because of the amazing year they had last year, I think they'll still make the playoffs barely. Then I said the Falcons at 9-8, and I have the Seahawks at 8-9, just below the Cardinals. Then I have the Bears at 6-11. I'm just not a big Caleb fan. I don't like him. I'm not because of who he is, but more of his play. I've just never really was big on him.
The Saints should be in last place. That's ridiculous.
Then the Vikings I have at 5-12. Who knows what we're gonna get from JJ McCarthy? The guy's hasn't played yet in his career. Can't really judge him. I mean, they have one of the best receivers in football, probably the best. They have Hawkinson, Jones. The defense was great. I'm probably underrating them here. I'll probably bump them up a couple more wins as we get closer to the season. And then I have the Panthers. I have them really low where I like them. They're 4-13 in this. But I think Bryce Young could actually have potentially good. But the only problem is you can't keep giving every team a win. So it's kind of harder to do that. Then I have the Saints and Giants in last at 3-14. I think the Saints are going to win a couple of divisional matchups, just randomly. And then the Giants, I think I have them winning one upset and then 2 divisional matchups. And honestly, none of those teams are going to be good. I think they'll all be the Browns, the Saints, and the Giants are all going to be competing for the first overall pick. I know Russ is there and he could be good. I just not sure about that team. I'm probably underrating them too, like I said, with the Panthers and the Vikings, but we'll see how that
The
goes.
Saints.
All right.
All right, so first I have the Eagles. I think, once again, they'll have a great year. Listen, I have the 49ers at 2. Before you get mad, I know that their defense isn't as good. I know they lost Debo, but they still have a quarterback who relies on an offense that has CMC, George Kittle, a decent O-line, and a coaching staff that always... Huh?
Brandon Ayuk too.
That's true. He finally gets a chance to show it.
He was good
show
last
his
year.
talent because now
He was good
Debo
last year.
Yeah, but he'll be even better without Debo.
Debo didn't play much last year. He was injured, wasn't he? I don't remember.
Still, I don't know. But they always find a way to get things.
And they also have the easiest schedule in football, so
That's true. Lions 12-5-3. Obviously, NFC South always comes in last with 9-8 in top 4. Cowboys, Commanders, teams I think that'll do well, especially Dak with Pickens and CD now. Jaden Daniels I think will just improve. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. The Vikings at 10-7, we kind of get into the teams that are just kind of in the middle.
for you, I'd switch the Vikings and Packers.
You think so?
Yeah, I like
Jordan Love has
Vikings,
promise.
but I'd like Jordan Love, the Packers more. They have a chance to win the division.
That's true. Falcons, Seahawks, Rams, all those teams that are right in the middle. And the Packers, Cardinals. I really, once again, during the offseason they try to make moves. Nothing really ever works. And then of course the Panthers and the Bears and all the teams that everybody likes, and the Saints. They're gonna have the worst season ever and gonna get whatever Peyton Manning's son or cousin or whatever
Arch Manning.
that guy. They're going to get him in the first overall pick. The Giants, which
Yeah.
are 4-13, I don't really know. They could be a surprise team. I have no idea.
Like I said though earlier, remember these are just like random picks. This is not exactly what we think is going to happen. This is just based off like kind of a little bit of knowledge from last year and off season.
Like the Vikings,
early
I definitely do have them way too high on here. Another one.
Yeah, we looked back at our predictions and we're like, we messed up on some of this, but we said it doesn't matter. I mean, remember preseason week 1 just finished. Preseason week 2 starts this Friday. Remember, we're on Wednesday still while recording this.
I think I give the Saints too many wins. They're 2-15. That's too many.
No, they won't go win 17, but yeah, that will be all for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. We're sorry for the long break we took. Hopefully we'll be recording and posting once a week. We got to try and figure out what we're going to talk about next week because we just talked about a lot.
Maybe actual predictions instead of these things we threw together in 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk more into fantasy football. Maybe get more into the QB battles that are happening.
Find a better website that doesn't have Cam Scatterby at like 97.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications so you know when we post, and share it with your other friends. And I hope you all have a great day.
Thanks, you too, yeah.
All right. I was talking to that podcast.
Yeah, have a great day. Cut that part out.